Bienvenidos, soy la Bruja Espinada, and I am here with your strawberry full moon in Capricorn. So let's get started. This is the first full moon after the solstice. This is really quick. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups, the Fool in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse. Just adjusting my placements. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and we will stop with the Judgment card. So, excuse me. Strawberry full moon in Capricorn. It is the strawberry moon because there are, this is like the peak time in which strawberries are ripe and ready for the picking. And it is in Capricorn. Now, the thing is that Capricorn is usually a very stubborn, hardworking, very step one, step two, step three, let's get it going, let's keep it rolling type of mindset. However, in the past few readings that we have consecutively, since the last full moon, new moon, the summer solstice reading, and then we have the now new full moon reading, there is a message of, especially because it is the strawberry full moon, it's the message of like, stop and smell the roses, where it's like, stop and enjoy the strawberries. Stop and enjoy the strawberries. You may not be at the tip top where you would prefer to be, but that doesn't mean you can't stop and not appreciate the fruits of your labor, right? And granted, there's still quite a bit of things that aren't close to being accomplished or quite yet resolved, or the next thing needs to start being worked on. However, in this instance, one of the biggest things is you kind of need, remember the last message, if you watch the summer solstice, was that there is a necessity for rest, right? And that rest is also giving to yourself that nutrition that you need to fully recover, especially since it's summertime, as if you're in the northern hemisphere, and if you practice Ayurveda, which is the yogic practice of like nutrition, this is a time where you're trying to limit the amount of fire within your system, because this is the, especially in Chinese medicine, this is typically considered the early summer. So there's a lot of fiery energy, and the best way to combat that is to cool down the inside for all the excess heat you feel from the outside. So eating lighter foods, sticking to fish if you are an omnivore, or leaner cuts of leaner cuts of meat, like white meat, um, lots of fruit, lots of veggies, but specifically fruits and veggies that are very hydrating. Celery, um, lettuces, um, think of like cucumbers, melons, pineapples, um, drinking iced mint tea, or Jamaica that's hibiscus. Um, Trying to keep the inside just as cool to protect the digestive system, because the heat is also part of the lower intestine. It also affects the heart. So maintaining that inner physical balance so that you can be balanced outside physically. There's so many different things to take on. All that to say is nourish your body. It's not just like catching up on sleep. It's not just giving your body the rest that it needs and then continuing to push it so hard when you are fatigued. And there is that difference between, let's say you're going to the gym, there's a difference between feeling tired and sore from a good workout versus absolutely fatigued, where you are burning out and your body feels weak. There is a difference between the two. It is very important to find that distinguished difference. And a big thing is nourishing your body appropriately to be able to continue to fully rest, to rest at the maximum capacity that is possible. Hydrating, drinking lots of electrolytes, um, hydrating teas, and eating hydrating foods. So, stop and taste some strawberries. Now, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. That is the primary card. That usually does mean that there is like some conflict. There are some things that may be taken a little too personally, whether it's on your end or on someone else's end. And if you watched the summer solstice reading, there was a huge message of being able to build the boundaries needed to protect your peace, to protect your emotional well-being, to start building a stronger emotional fortitude, cutting off or limiting your access to people that are depleting your energy and are not giving back to you. They're not reciprocating at the level that you have provided. And while some people believe that love, whether familial, friendly, or romantic, believe in some type of unconditional love, the truth is love is conditional. It is how much are you willing to hurt yourself to please others, right? And so this Seven of Swords in reverse gives me the interpretation of you're starting to try to put your foot down and you're seen like the bad guy, which is frustrating to you. And honestly, as much as others may be good at playing the victim, and trying to make you look bad, maintaining that ground of not necessarily being the bigger person, but making that stand or statement of, oh, is that what they told you? Well, if you want to know the truth, you can come ask me. But if that's what you choose to believe, by all means. Like a no fucks given attitude, because there is a difference between someone who has the I don't give a fuck which is very telling of a unconsiderate personality versus like, I don't give a fuck. Like, your fucks have already been given. All of them have flown out the window. They're long gone. Like, I'm sick of it. I've already kept the peace. I've already been the bigger person, and I'm done. I've reached my breaking point, and whatever peace that I have left, they can say whatever they want, because genuinely, I'm not giving my energy to that anymore. So you may be feeling that brunt of putting up that boundary and trying to stay strong in that. But it is a good indicator because that is followed by the Six of Swords upright. This is a sense of victory. Now, I've explained this before, but the Six of Swords is not without collateral damage. Because, yes, while ideally in a utopian society, in a perfect world, you would think that I would set my boundaries and people would accept it. Yes, that would be perfect if that other individual or those other people were emotionally healthy and sound. But unhealthy, emotionally unsound individuals will feel a sense of loss of power. And so in that instance, they are good at playing the victim, and they play the victim harder. You are, and you're hurting their feelings. And okay, yeah, their feelings are hurt. It's valid that they feel shocked, but not at your expense. Not at your expense. You're even vending machines run out. Right? So this is just that nod from the universe. The Six of Swords is like, yes, you've hurt some feelings, but it is for the betterment of you. Now, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is typically depicted as through the Rider-Waite deck as someone who's looking out over the ocean, and with all these wands, and kind of debating. They are not necessarily debating, but they're like thinking. They're deep in thought. There's different feelings that could be coming from this. Like, you could think on this as how far you've progressed and understanding, taking that moment to kind of really think on everything it's taken for you to get to where you are. To where you want to be. That this is that indicator you're not quite there, but you're not as far behind as you think you are. You're not exactly starting over. And that is that indicator of the Ace of Wands. Understanding that, yes, you're further along on a new path, but that doesn't mean that you are exactly starting from scratch. Yes, a new journey can feel daunting because it's a little bit longer ways to go, but you're not as far behind as you first started, right? There was an image that I saw recently, and I'm glad that I had seen it, because of course I remember it now. So what the image is two separate ladders, and one ladder, is like a typical spaced ladder where every single like little step on the ladder is close together, so there's multiple steps going up. And on the second ladder, the steps are way longer. So there are two different people that are standing at the base of these ladders, and one is starting to climb up, and the other is struggling to reach the first step because it is so far out of reach. And the image, or the note on the image, states, this is why it's important to set smaller goals. And that is what this reminder is. Yes, you've climbed many steps and you're reaching for the new step, but it's still within reach. Okay? So, sorry, adjusting. So, here we go. This is followed by the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Three of Wands in reverse. Now, there might be some delays. I don't want to use the term struggle, but delays. There might be some delays in regards to your resources. That's not to say that you are losing anything, but it is that indicator of a pause, right? A pause, like you've been waiting on something to start, or you're waiting on a response, or you're waiting for something to arrive, and it's slightly delayed. That's not necessarily a bad thing. And again, this is where I would more use the term struggle when it comes to the Three of Wands in reverse. There are some things that you are really eager to get started, really eager to start moving ahead on. But remember, right now, your message is to rest. Your message is to kind of take the time to enjoy the journey of moving forward. But also, you have to sit with your feelings. Plain and simple. You have to sit with your emotions. You have to feel what you're giving yourself time to feel. That, I don't got time for this. Make time for it. You have time. You have time to deal with other people's bullshit that doesn't belong to you. Cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. It's the Ace of Cups. You have so much emotions that you need to work on. You can't go. That's why that delay is here. Because you need to heal. Not just, and trust me, the cards have been saying it for a couple of readings now. It's repetitive because, hey, you're not listening to the universe. You're waiting for a sign. This has been your sign the past couple of readings, okay? If you don't want to take me seriously, that's okay. But guess what? I'm not the one that's dealing with those delays. You are, and you're asking the universe why. And the universe is telling you, because you're not doing what I told you to do. I am not reading for myself. I ask every single time that I pray and meditate over these cards before I start the reading is specifically, and I say it every single time, may you please give me the words of wisdom to those that are watching who are seeking your guidance, your protection, and your healing. Every time. Every time. And I cleanse these cards every time I finish. So, and then I pray again on them. I bless them prior to starting the reading, requesting that they're removed of any toxicity, negativity, and or biases that may affect the reading of today. Now, there's nothing residual here. It's repetitive because you're not listening. And yet you come back to watch these because you want to hear something. And you've heard it time and time and again. Sit with your emotions. Yes, it sucks. It hurts. No one wants to feel grief or pain or remember struggle and rage. But you have to be the emotionally healthy one, not for anybody else, for you. And if there's people that you, little ones that you are guiding to grow, you are their example. Why would you let someone continuously take advantage of you if you would not let that be done to your own loved ones? Why is it okay for it to be done to you? Sit with that. Let yourself heal from all the struggle and pain caused to you. To be able to maintain those boundaries, to be able to really succeed in moving forward by remembering that you are, in fact, successful. You are accomplishing everything that you put your hard work on. You're not going to be able to take on everything you're working so hard for if you're too tired to enjoy the spoils of your battles, to reap what you are sowing. We are in early summer. Things are blooming. Some things are getting ready for the harvest in the fall when things are abundant. Things are abundant now, but you need to heal from that. The thing is that, and we're followed by the Fool in reverse. It's not the first time that the Fool in reverse has come out. You, see this person's crying. There we go. The Fool. The Fool. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what this is. Feel what you have to feel. Yes, maybe you went ahead and you gave someone or some people the benefit of the doubt after having been proven time and time again that they are not reliable, that they just are not changing in that sense. And I've mentioned it before, there's an anime that I love, and the vice principal of this anime, he's very biased against this teacher. And he always thinks that he is the victim of the teacher when it just happens to be coincidence and happenstance. He's just a bystander and he takes it personally. And one of the things that he says is, shame on him, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on you twice. Okay, you can use that. You gave someone a chance before. But if it's the 100th chance, you can't blame them 100 times. At some point, you have to look at that self-facing camera image and say, okay, I'm only fooling myself. And be emotionally ready to accept the accountability for yourself. Not for what they've done to you, but for putting yourself in that position again. And why? If you would not let that be done to your child, to your best friend, to your sibling, to your parents, if you would not let that be done to your loved one, why don't you love yourself enough to not let it be done to you? We have the Two of Cups in reverse. You may be in that stage where you're being begged for a chance. There are quite a bit of reverses. The Two of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I'm just going to go through those really quick. Two of Cups, emotional choices. Two is typically a decision, a choice that you have to make, one or the other. This is in reverse. You are hesitant. You are taking too long. And again, a fool goes ahead in a journey not knowing what awaits them. And there's a difference between a fool that's going forward and is unprepared and is just like, I'll figure it out. But you've been on enough journeys to not do that. Here, the fool is in reverse. At this point, it's just, it's user error. At this point, it's shame on you. It's shame, not shame on you like shame on you. You fooled me once. No, at this sense, like this, the shame on me card. It's that stance. It's like, and so the next ones is that decision. You're hesitant on whether or not they're playing on your heartstrings, or maybe it is the first offense, and yet it was a very grave offense. It's like, let's say this is like your hard boundary. This is your hill to pass away on. This is your uh what's that term? Well, that hill to die on. Like, no, this is my hard line. Like, this is, and yet you have particular feelings in regards to, like, no, like, I really care about this person. I really care about these people, this company, this organization, and yet they cross my line very, very hard. And this is a very hard line for me. Don't be foolish about it. The decision is difficult, but it's a decision that has to be made for your well-being. There are ways to set a boundary in which it's not like a complete cutoff, but maintaining that, like not letting someone pressure you. So let's say, you know what, I need space. I can't talk to you. You can't have access to me right now until I'm ready. And if someone comes at you with like, well, how long is that? Well, how long that is that? And you have to maintain that boundary in stating, that is for me to decide. I will let you know when I am ready. You cannot pressure me into telling me when to give you a time frame. You do not earn that. You do not have that right anymore. I will tell you. I will reach out to you when I'm ready. And if you can't accept that, now that's why the Queen of Wands is here in reverse. You have to assume that authority. Do not doubt yourself in this right now. Do not doubt yourself in this choice. I know it's not a choice that you want to make, but you can't play the fool for yourself. We have the Lovers in reverse. That it has to do with a connection. It doesn't necessarily have to be a loved one or a romantic partner. It could be a friend. It could be a business partner. It could be some type of collaborator or some type of partnership. Okay. You may not want to cut those ties, but remember, the Nine of Wands is typically a burden. This is in reverse. This doesn't mean that there is no burden. That just means that it's weighing a little bit heavier on you, and you can no longer stand that weight. You can no longer stand that pressure. The Three of Cups is typically celebration. It means that there is another person getting involved. This could be like, let's say, this is just an example. If, let's say, you are arguing with a sibling and your parents are getting involved because your siblings, that's another business. It is not your parents' business. You and your sibling may be grown. It's no one else's business to get involved, and you have to maintain that also. You can't let someone else be in your ear trying to convince you to make a decision that you are trying to stay strong on. Now, the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. It is that reminder to typically it is the Rider-Waite. There's someone who is leaning against a garden tool. under a tree and they are waiting for things to watch them grow. Now is not the time to be impatient. And don't let anyone else's impatience sway you. Don't. You have to be strong for yourself. And yes, it's tiring. But that's why judgment is here. Look at that bombastic side eye. This is a no bullshit time indicator, okay? Use your best judgment. A healthy emotional judgment. As you move forward to the things that you are manifesting for yourself. Okay? So, that being said, Mighty Fates, do you have anything to add to this message? What lesson? Ooh, ask body. Ask body. It's a beautiful card. Here we go. I'm looking for the table of contents on this. Here we go. Ask body. In spiritual work, the body is often overlooked. There is a tendency to go higher rather than go deeper. This card encourages you to enter into a dialogue with your body. Our physical body holds all of our experiences, our heart, mind, and spirit. It also has inherited significant experiences and traumas that have been passed on in our lineage. To dialogue with the body is to get to the root of the matter where our minds can only guess. And there's an exercise with this. Sit or lie comfortably, bringing your attention to your breath. Let your body relax and clear your mind. Then imagine dropping into your body. If there's a specific place you want to go, a place that holds tension or disease, go there. Otherwise, drop into your core. Ask your body any questions that come to mind. If there is anything you need guidance with or are unsure of, bring that to mind. See what it says. Deepening the relationship with one's body will always be beneficial. It will also provide a safe space where you can retreat when you need assistance. I say this time and time and again. I can't make this shit up. Let us finish off with the animal spirit guides. Animal spirit guides. What, if one card if possible, please? What closing message do you have for those watching? Oh, no, please. One card. One card. It was just way too many cards. And again, I'm trying to keep this simple and concise. Here we go. Set healthy boundaries. Armadillo spirit. I've actually never pulled this card in any of my readings. Ooh. Armadillo spirit. You know if this card had to be pulled for a reason. Armadillo spirit. Learning to set healthy boundaries is the gift of Armadillo spirit. You are entering a phase where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that may have been okay for you in the past. This also means that you need to learn where you end and where others begin. What is your own and what is not? Know your limits and understand that it's an empowering choice to say no to what doesn't feel right. Armadillo Spirit is here to tell you it's time to be honest with yourself about what you really want. Be clear on what you are agreeing to. Declare what your needs are and say no as a full sentence. These are acts of respect and kindness to others as well as to yourself. Trust your body's signals and you will know what to do. Armadillo Spirit guides you in making good decisions that are grounded in a strong sense of what belongs to you and what does not. This is a tricky time as you may find yourself enmeshed with others, overly concerned with how they will take it if you say no or express how you really feel. Do you feel anxious saying no to someone, so you capitulate, even knowing the outcome will not be in your best interest? Do you feel like it's your job to stop someone from facing their challenges? Instead, you might take on the responsibilities, rescuing them instead of giving them the freedom to learn their lessons their way. Perhaps you feel that if they only knew how much you cared, they would change and then all would be well. Armadillo Spirit asks you to be honest with yourself and others, no matter how difficult it may be or how much you fear losing someone or something. Face your fear. Tell the truth. Set your boundaries. You will be amazed at the miracles that happen when you let Armadillo Spirit protect you from taking on too much. Becoming a people pleaser and losing your integrity. Another message of protection from Armadillo Spirit is to relax and live and let live. If you or someone else is being defensive, you are called to step back and trust in Spirit's plan. I can't make this shit up. You saw it. So, my dear little people pleasers, I genuinely hope this helps, and enjoy yourself some strawberries. And I'll see you guys next time.